again, it just tells the story of it's the evil and the ugliness of people's hearts these days is everywhere.
This is Franky Rose's Think Tank. Here's your host, Franky Rose.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Think Tank. So we are going to take a look at what was going on in front of that church this morning. So this is Pastor John Paul's church, and right in front of it, we have more than a couple people having a voice at this point. Everyone in purple, plus, as you'll see, it will grow. You can see the church kind of. Is that the church in the behind or on the other side? I think it's there. I think they're on the sidewalk there. Let's check it out. This is JLR. He was there this morning. I know that not everybody likes the same content creators, but in this particular chat, I asked that we're kind, because JLR is always good about sharing his content. I could not bring this to you without him. So with that said, let's see what's going on in front of Solid Rock Church.
Good morning, everyone. Reporting from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I am out front of Solid Rock Church, and we're covering the Michael Miller case. Yesterday, I said, hey, I'm going to come up here. I was just doing a live stream earlier, but I was having technical difficulties. There's supposed to be a large group here. They're going to go for a walk. We're going to talk about the case of Mica Miller and John Paul Miller, the suspicious death of Mica Miller. A lot of people here, and I talked to the organizer who said she'll talk to me in a little bit. A lot of people think this is a mysterious circumstance, and they think it's fishy, and they think that John Paul, her husband, might have had something to do with it, or has his hands dirty when it comes to this case. I'm going to spin the camera around, show you what's going on. It looks like it's very, very peaceful today. It looks like it's regulated today. Law enforcement is here watching. Law enforcement says that, as long as nobody goes on the property of the church, they will be fine. But we're out here. We're going to see what's going on with this particular case. Come on in, JLR investigation. And we are monitoring the case of
Mica Miller.
How's the reception? Reception look good out here? Good morning, everyone. And there's going to be a walk, and a lot of people have shirts that say "Justice for Mica" on their shirts. So got that going on here, and we'll see what's going on. And let me just walk over here real quick and just show you a few things, right? So you have a group, and it's forming out here. You got a lot of people out here. This is the church. This is the church. Now, there's service here going on right now at the church. They got police here at the church. The police are at the church. Myrtle Beach police. It looks like the church here. There's also a Faith First Academy next door to the church. But we are here, and we're going to monitor the situation. A lot of people are angry. Now, this church itself, it looks like the congregation is going on today as planned, and it looks like, I was just talking to that officer too, very, very kind officer. He's out here maintaining the peace. He says protesters have the right to be out here. The only thing he asked, this police officer, the only thing he asked for no one to step on the property of the church, stay on public sidewalks. And they said the supporters for Mica are good. It's interesting about this particular church because it's like right there on the sidewalk. But there, what I was saying is the congregation of this church is going on today. There is supporters of John Paul Miller, and see, there's people actually going into the church. I the way the officer told me, though, the officer told me that John Paul is not here today. So church starts very, very shortly. Let's go back over here, and later on, I'm going to go up to the park where later on, where Mica was found, apparently from a gunshot wound. So we're gonna get some details here. JLR live this evening. Mobile Beach, South Carolina. Come on in, everyone. Come on in. I'm gonna monitor a walk and a march for Mica. So yeah. Good morning. How's it going? How's it going?
Good. I'm going to try to grab the organizer.
Yeah, I spoke to her briefly over there. Yeah, have her come over and.
I'm going to just pull the banner.
Yeah, you want me to show the banner?
I asked about the permit sizing on the signs, and they said that there wasn't going to be a permit prior to May 15th.
I didn't think so,
They
Carrie.
got a permit, so I think we're limited on the signage. And
Oh, really? They're that petty in a sense.
Well, you know, I mean, otherwise people would.
You need a permit for a certain size sign.
No, that for a gathering like such, they just limit the signage.
Gotcha.
To a certain size. They don't want 50-foot banners going across the road.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, you know, it's not for any bad purpose. But I'm going to try to grab her and we'll hold up that banner.
Oh yeah, I would love to
And
show
get
it.
the website. I mean, the colors and everything match, and they're two completely different.
Did she make the shirts too?
Somebody donated the shirt.
Gotcha.
And so they're just doing that for donation. And I did the URL and website for them. I got all that done in one day. That was amazing.
Gotcha. I see the back. It says "Break the Silence and Domestic Violence." The back of the shirt say.
So I'm going to try to grab her and just get her and I to hold the banner up.
Yeah.
For a still shot.
Yeah.
And I'll grab you and
I'd love to show the audience. Yeah, the sign.
So
You got to just do it like right over here somewhere.
yeah, I'll just grab it.
I'll see it.
keep
And I'll
my
come
eyes
over.
on you.
Yeah, gotcha. Thank you. All right, so they got a big banner they're going to share, and I'm going to see the banner and share the banner for everyone to see. So. And JLR investigates out here.
The young man want to give you the.
Thank you, sir.
John.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so they just gave me so I'm out here. They just gave me a living water pamphlet. So I'll read this later. It's very
I'm sure you
faith-based
will.
around here. Everyone's very friendly and polite, and I'll show you the signage very, very shortly. I'll show you what's going on out here, and then they're going to do a march. They're going to do a march for Mica, and then tonight there's also a vigil. I believe it's in North Myrtle Beach. I'll get you that location shortly.
Oh, more and more people.
Yeah, I don't know if they expected the pastor John Paul Miller to be here. They call the pastor here PJP. That's his initials, PJP. So
PJP.
I would say there's a group of about 50 here now. That it keeps growing and growing. There's more and more people. There's families.
Wow.
See the signs. We got signs.
Unreal.
So I think he has has the sign. That guy there walking, whatever. Like they said, he's friends with the family. And he's talking to another. There's some media lady over there in the yellow. She's behind there. Yeah, I'd say we're getting close to definitely over 50 people here. It's all through the front too. on the Facebook page that they had for this, rally for Mica, protest against Solid Rock. You could call it a protest. There was hundreds that signed up. So we'll see how many show. We'll let me show you the sign. See what I mean? Are we good on reception out here, by the way? It said 5G. I just want to know how reception. Can someone give me a reception check? How are we on reception? Hopefully it's good. Reception
I hope
is
mine
great.
looks
Awesome.
good on
Yeah,
5G.
it's at 5G. So we're good. This is in South Myrtle Beach. This is on the corner of Mallard Lake Drive. I think this is 803 Howard. This is 803 Howard across the street from the church. Awesome. All right, we're ready whenever you are, Blake. Okay. I'm gonna go. He's gonna go lay this. I'm gonna go lay this banner out. I'm gonna go out here and lay this banner. I think he's gonna go. Justice for Mica, for sure. Sure. I'm gonna go across the street here and see the banner that they're laying out. I'm gonna shoot across the street in 1 second. So this is the church. This is the Rock Solid Church. Solid Rock. I'm sorry, Rock Solid Rock Church. And we'll see what we've got here. Here we go. Justice for Mica. Justice for Mica. See? Justice for Mica right here.
Nice.
All right. So you got Justice for Mica. Let's see if this guy right here. Here we go. So there you go. They're here at the church. Justice for Mica. Abuse comes in many forms. So you got that.
Wow.
I'm going to talk to the organizer. Now, one thing that's interesting about this church, their website got taken off. You can't even go to their website anymore. It's gone. Like, I don't know if he got rid of it or the server got rid of it.
Wow.
Services suspended. No, the services are not suspended. They're having service in there. I actually heard music going on in there. So they have. Now, there was rumor that there was a truck here, like a U-Haul truck, taking things away. It looks like yesterday or the day before that somebody here that was in there got their stuff out. So I don't know, over time, as more information comes out, less and less people will come here. But it seems like there's more people outside than inside. More people outside than inside. So like more people outside than inside. So yeah, they're having service. I mean, people are coming in, they're having service. So this is the parking lot. See, you see, they're having their service. Service is people are arriving for service. So we'll go back over here. Again, there's an officer here. Maintaining the peace. We'll go over here and position our camera. I'm going to go over here and kind of be on the back side of the group here a little bit, and then move over here and move our tripod and go over here.
Look at everyone. Whoa. Look at them all. Wow, you guys. How sad. A lot of them are.
So, you could call this a combination of a remembrance for Mica, a walk for Mica / protest against Solid Rock Church. It's, everybody's out here. A lot of people are out here with these blue shirts. Break the silent and end domestic violence. Justice for Mica. Hashtag balloons. I'll follow the marchers. They're going to march. Myrtle Beach. JLR live in Myrtle Beach.
Wasn't that something else, Andy? Hello there, Copper Horse. Good to see you, friend. So this is it's supposed to be a non-interactive, I guess you would say, protest. No, this happened this morning. This is from this morning.
Go back out here a little bit out of the sun. We got
You bet. They are having at 3:00. The church is having
more people out here than there is in the church inside. There's more people for Mica across the street from Solid Rock Church than there's more in the congregation inside, for sure. We're approaching at this time, we're probably approaching about 100 people here. And more people are arriving, more cars are arriving for parking. And this is going to be like a march down the street very, very shortly. For anyone that's not following this case, we've done some deep dives and we've done some reports on this case. Tragedy happened last weekend, Saturday last weekend. Body of Mica was found at a lumber park near Lumberton, North Carolina, about an hour and a half away. The pastor, who was her husband, John Paul Miller, is the pastor at the church across the street. And what he said at his to his congregation Sunday, immediately the next day, is he had a sermon, and he put at the very end of the sermon what happened to his wife, and then he blamed it on mental illness and saying that she took her own life. And people just got a bad taste out of that, and people think that's not the case, and this case needs to be looked at. She was going through a child support, divorce proceedings. She filed some paperwork against them just prior to her being found dead. A lot of people think that's suspect. She showed no signs of any self-harm to herself. She was a very lovable and likable person. Case in point, the amount of people that you see here. I don't think the story is going to go anywhere, and I think people want the pastor to be looked at.
Absolutely, including the family.
That's pretty much that in a nutshell. There's a lot of other factors that come into play here, and we'll talk, and we'll. I already spoke to the organizer a little bit earlier before I went live, so if I see her, I'll pull her to the side, and we'll let her speak and share the message of what the purpose is today and what's going on here in Myrtle Beach. A lot of people are calling for an investigation.
Brat. The brat is back. So most of these, I do believe, are affiliated with the church in some way or fashion. Mica was involved in a lot of different activities with the churches.
And then another factor is, so
yes,
the pastor was seen with another woman named Susie immediately after his wife got shot, and people have a bad.
That's exactly what I was saying earlier in the last live. He has been seen out with another woman. Just a couple of days after this happened, he started wandering around with this other woman.
Taste about that too. People were outraged about that. This individual's named Susie, her own husband died also a couple years ago. Paraplegic, found drowned in a pool. People think that's a little bit fishy. I don't know if the family's here. So you even got people with Justice for Mica on bikes. So if you guys been following this case, let me know what you think. If there's something that should be shared, please share it in the comments.
All ages. Young and old. They obviously think this is suspicious, and they know them. Yeah. In the last stream, we covered what Mica was saying on her Facebook and some of the different things that are going around, what the family thinks. No, I guess sounds like not. So will he be there this afternoon for the celebration of life?
We'll go take a walk.
Makes me wonder. Look at all the people. Yep. I agree, Carrie. I agree. Yep. Absolutely. Okay. See if we can answer it.
You can have waters.
You want a free shirt, sir?
I'll
Justice
take
for
it.
Mica? What size?
Absolutely.
Large?
Extra large.
Extra. I don't know if they have extra.
I'll take a large. Large.
They run big. There
Thank
you go.
you. Thank you. Who made the shirts?
So Palmetto
Yes.
Tide Design Company right here made the shirts. And then Attorney
Absolutely.
Virginia Ford placed a bulk order for us to give out free shirts today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. It sure was.
Hey. Hello. Hello. Hi, we're YouTube live. You make the shirts?
Yes, sir.
So where'd the shirts come from? How were they made? How
So
many
we had
shirts?
an anonymous donor that donated the shirts,
Mm-hmm.
and we screen printed well into Friday evening, Saturday morning, and pretty much all day yesterday. Then
I saw people before this event even started. I saw people walking their dogs
yes,
and exercising along the
Yep. So
streets
we had
wearing.
several people pick up from our shop down in Burroughs Inlet
Yeah.
last night.
How many shirts?
It's what he said afterwards that was so
A little over 200,
disturbing.
I think, is what we
200.
have.
I don't
Do you
know
expect
about
to make more?
sermon.
Have more?
I'm probably gonna have to make at least more large and extra large.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
If anyone wants a shirt, or how would they find you guys? Or is there a particular?
What's our Facebook page? Here we go.
Here, let's read it off of that. Yes.
Yes.
So what do we got?
That's it.
There you go. Palmetto Tides Designer. Like you guys make all shirts. Like
Yep.
all types. Okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'll take it, and I'll
Thanks.
definitely
Appreciate it.
share it with everyone.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, so shirts. I got myself a shirt. They gave me a shirt.
Exactly. Exactly. What a disgrace. And then parading a new girlfriend around. Talking like they were still together. It's just, he's a mess of a human. If he didn't do this, I will be shocked. Look at all the people that believe she didn't do it to herself.
Whole block's full, folks.
Look
block
at that. Oh, nice.
Hello. The whole block is full.
It is.
We're talking
Kenzie.
over 100
Good to
people
see
here.
you.
And that's the church, folks. That's the church right there.
Wow. She touched a lot of people.
Yeah, pay attention to this particular case because they don't want this to go away. The individual I spoke to before I went live, he said he knows the family. I mean, they don't want this to go away. They want answers. See the officer there, very, very kind. He actually came over. I shook his hand this morning. He just asked me how I'm doing. He's going around just letting everyone know, you know, just don't go on the church property. But other than that, you're good. Solid Rock at Market Common. Now, folks, there's also another church in Myrtle Beach area, also call it Solid Rock. I believe that's not connected to this particular church in any way.
So, everybody here? We're gonna start walking. If you don't have a sign, you can grab one of mine. I made like 4 of them. I want to talk about the sign for a second, real quick. A lady, where is she at? I don't know where she's at, but anyway, oh, there she is. Okay, she told me that she's not very crafty, but I think this is pretty crafty. It's a Bible verse, Mica 6:8. Whoa. And it says, "Do justice, love mercy." Is it loyalty? Humbly with God. So, man, I did ministry and I got nervous about saying that Bible verse. And you know what? That is not of God. Fear does not come from God. And we're not going to fear. We're going to walk with courage and strength for Mica and for anybody that has suffered with abuse. This is for Mica, but it's for you. It's for me. It's for anybody. And we're going to make sure that Mica's name is not forgotten and that the truth will come out on how she died. I personally don't think she ended her life. She was a woman that I truly believe that started a new life. I've never met Mica. I never met JP. I've never been inside that church. I don't know anybody in that church, which is pretty wild because I never thought I'd be standing here doing this right now. I had a dream that I was there for her baptism. It all started with that picture of her baptism at my church that I did a little bit of ministry at. And she took a selfie. And it was on Easter morning. And so I had a dream that I was actually there. And then when she came out of the water, I was trying to preach to her. And she was like, hold up. Like, she started preaching to me. And she prophesied over me. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30, my husband thought I was crazy, but I was crying uncontrollably. And I started this event. When it started growing, I got permits. So do not be afraid. We are safe. The police officers are all on our side. So do not be afraid. We could actually use the church officers if we need them. And they'll come over. And I believe everybody's going to be safe. We're going to do this out of love. I don't really do well with hate talk. But I like truth. I like truth. And truth sometimes is not pretty. And this is a very sensitive subject. And we do have resources here for anybody, male or female, that is a domestic violence survivor that is here today. And which I didn't even know because I'm a survivor myself of domestic abuse. Well, not domestic abuse in the church. And so praise God for that. And thank you guys for showing up. I mean, it was supposed to rain, and I prayed that it wouldn't rain on this block. It could rain everywhere, but to stay sunny right here. And I think Mica will be very proud to see this. I think she would be very humble. Again, I don't know her. I feel like just looking at pictures and I've heard a lot of testimonies of other people that knew her. So that led me closer to her. So I bless the people that are here that personally know her. Okay, I'm ready to cry. And I know that people are grieving still. And I just really, really appreciate your courage. My family was protesters. This is not my first time and not going to be my last. So we're going to start walking. It's very, very simple. We're just going to go away from the church because I don't want to be a threat to them. I just want them to see us, that we're here out of love and support for Mica. So instead of going towards them, we're going to go away from them. And we're going to go around the block. So literally the next street over, make a left. Next street, make a left. Next street, make a left. Now, if it takes us 10 minutes, we can do it again. We can stay right here if we want to. I have a little scooter if anybody needs a scooter. I charged it up just in case so nobody's left behind. And thank you again, and we'll start walking. And I am going to chant. I'm going to say, what do we want? Justice for Mica. When do we want it? Now. And that's how we're going to go. And if anybody wants to chant something else, go right ahead. I want to be loud and proud and full of courage. And we can do this, guys. I believe that Mica's name will not be forgotten and that it will be used for good and not be known and shoved under the rug. Let the transparency of the church be shown and let the wolves come out of their sheep clothing. So come on, everybody, let's go.
Look
All right,
at
I'm gonna
them
go up
all.
front here and kind of catch the front end of this for you guys, just to see the long line of people. They're gonna march this way, and they're gonna go down here a block, and then left and left.
Look at them all. Wow. Welcome in, Lori. I'm not sure if they all do.
Oh my gosh, I'm terrible, but I'm gonna let you know. Thank you. Amen.
I think they're learning right now. I think they're learning a lot. Just heartbreaking. Look at how well she was loved. She touched a lot of lives. Only 30 years old. So do I, Dandy. I think her family might have had an inkling. What a turnout. Bless her heart.
And I believe that we're gonna change. This is gonna be big, and give God the glory. It's not me. It's not me. I'm not anything special. I'm just a person that just was touched by God. So this is all God doing. So thank you so much for joining us. And whoever wants to lead, can lead. There you go. Amen. We're going this way.
Wow.
Sidewalk, on the sidewalk. Sidewalk.
Oh, bossy, bossy. Amazing turnout.
Casey, waiting on you.
She was found about an hour and a half away. Now, I am not sure who found her, but she was in a park about an hour and a half away when they found her.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, y'all. I'm together. I got it. You're great. Hold up. Facebook Live. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
How do you do this?
yeah, that's kind of my understanding too, that it was not like a public park in the middle of town. And yeah. Yes.
All right. Here we go. What are we here for? Oh, what are we here for? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What are we here for? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What are we here for?
Justice for Mica!
Now! Justice for Mica! Now! Justice for Mica! Now!
Justice for Mica!
Look at this. Amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now. Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica. Now.
All right, so I'm gonna follow, guys. It's a few hundred.
Justice for Mica. Now. What do we want? Justice for Mica. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice for Mica. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice for Mica. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice for Mica. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice for Mica. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice for Mica. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice for Mica. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice for Mica. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice for Mica. When do we want it? Now. What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it? Now.
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want? When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica.
Very powerful, folks.
Now. Justice for Mica.
See, as a gonzo journalist,
Justice for
you want to join in. So now, what do we want? Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica. Now. See, I am a gonzo journalist, so I can share my thoughts. This definitely needs to be looked at. Needs to be looked at. For sure.
Justice for Mica.
Now. Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica. Now. Now. Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica. Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica. Now. 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 Justice for Mica. Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we
Now. Justice for Mica. Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want? When do we want it? What do
So
we
they're
want?
across the street from the Solid Rock Church where John Paul Miller is a pastor. And they're out here. They're out here, folks. Strong. Getting very loud.
Look at all of that.
I got goosebumps.
Yep. Oh my God, you guys. Oh, oh, the chills. Oh, Lordy, you guys. Look at the cop.
They are out here in front of the church where John Paul Miller is a pastor. And there's probably more people out here, Justice for Mica, than there is inside a congregation. They're out here. They're out here. There's a few hundred out here. They're all lined up. It's very powerful. It's very powerful. It's getting really, strong with their voices, like very passionate, very passionate. I even did some few chants myself.
So emotional.
Justice
Oh, Lordy.
Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica. Now.
I'm choked up.
Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica. Now.
Voila.
Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica. What do we want? Justice for Mica. Now. What do we want? Justice for Mica. Now.
Justice for Mica.
Wow, you
Break
guys.
the silence! Break 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 the silence!
Wow, how emotional.
Break the silence! 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 Break the silence!
Break the silence!
Break the silence!
Break the silence!
Break the silence!
Break the silence!
Break the silence!
Break the silence!
Break the silence!
Break the silence!
Break the silence!
Break the silence!
Break the silence!
Break the silence!
Break the silence! Break the silence!
All right, so that's some of the congregation there. It looks like they're coming out just to see what's going on. This might be their security.
Break the silence!
Let's go over here and see what's going on.
Let's go over here and see what's going on. You'll walk right into it. He is all over you guys. So subscribe, like, and share to JLR. He goes everywhere. What's that guy doing? What's he saying?
Would you like to talk? Would you like to talk?
What are you doing, buddy? Jesse doesn't feel like talking.
Sir, how do you feel about the what's going on? How do you guys feel about what's going on? I mean, there's a lot of people out here. Are you guys part of the congregation?
That's what I think.
Would you like to talk? Would you like to talk?
No.
How do you feel about what's going on?
Good Lord. Well, I think we can tell what those guys are thinking.
Do you guys think your pastor is a murderer? Yes. How are you? Would you like to come over and talk? How do you guys feel about what's going on? How do you feel about what's going on? Come on over. Come talk. How do you guys feel about what's going on? Would you like to talk?
Right?
What's that?
Not on the grass.
Oh, no, not on the grass. Would you guys like to talk?
Not on the
How do you feel about all this? Is Pastor John Paul around? Is he around today?
What's wrong with people?
Have a nice day, guys. All right, so what it is there's some people there, part of the congregation, I guess, come out, they're filming or whatnot, kind of laughing at the people here across the street. So this is the
it looked like
Solid Rock at Market Common in Solid Rock at Market Common, Myrtle Beach. And this is the congregation of Pastor John Paul Miller, the husband to Mica. And you see the people out here. There's over 100 here, out here, all over the place. They're scattered all over. Everyone's wearing these blue Justice for Mica shirts. And during the course of that, their chants, some of the congregation's coming out on their side, and they're taking pictures and they're seeing what's going on. I don't know if they're part of the congregation security, but they're definitely, here. They do have police here. The police is emphasizing to everyone, they're telling everyone, make sure you do not step on the grass here. This is a public sidewalk here. This is easement. This is the road. But yeah. They were kind of laughing. I asked them if they wanted to talk. How do they feel about, do they consider their pastor a murderer? I mean, that's a reasonable question, considering most people here feel like he's involved. Yeah, I'm not sure if they were cursing. I know they were smiling and laughing and waving. I know that. I didn't see them curse. Some people said in the chat they were also cursing, so. I don't think this is funny at all. I mean, I think this is a serious matter. And it's fair to say that the pastor is under investigation. I mean, that's what they said I guess it's Robeson County. See, the cops telling, make sure you don't step on the sidewalk. Or no, don't step on the grass. I'm sorry. That's what they were saying. Don't step on the grass. He's pointing. Don't step on the grass. Oh, she's calling.
What do we want? Justice for Mica. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice for Mica. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice for Mica. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice for Mica. We want it now. What do we want? Justice for Mica. We want it now. What do we want? Justice for Mica. We want it now. What do we want? Justice for Mica. We want it now. What do we want? Justice for Mica.
Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want?
Looks like the storms are coming.
What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! Justice for Mica! Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! Now! 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 Justice for Mica! Justice for Mica! Now! Justice for Mica! Now! Justice for Mica! Now! Justice for Mica! Now! Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! Now! Justice for Mica! Now! Justice for Mica! Now! Justice for Mica! Now! Justice for Mica! Now!
I'm gonna go talk to the organizer.
Their throats have got to be getting sore.
I'm gonna talk to the organizer.
I can't believe the people from the church were that ridiculous.
Deborah. Hi. How are you? I'm so sweaty.
Yeah, they're saying they took it offline for now.
Raining, folks. I'm gonna go under this tree. The rain's coming in just a little bit. Go under this tree here.
You're exactly right, friend.
Kind of stay dry for a minute.
That sky's looking cranky, isn't
Rain
it?
is coming down.
It's all good till you hear lightning. Yeah.
So just a quick shower is coming through. It's 70s. You see most people wearing shorts. Thank you, CBC. CBC, silence is acceptance. Church members, leaders, step up. The world is watching. And one thing I noticed, thank you for that, CBC. I concur with you on that. Across the street, I mean,
That's what I was
there's members
thinking.
of that church congregation coming out and taking pictures. I tried to speak to them and ask them if they want to talk. They were just smiling and kind of waving at me. And they might be security for the church, that guy over there.
They were
But
being
so far, like
silly.
nobody from the church has come out and talked or shared their side of the story. All right, so the rain seems like it's stopped. I don't know. It's kind of look at the clouds coming through. Let me see. Let me talk to the organizer. If she ain't busy.
I can't believe it.
Talk to her. Deborah. Right there. Go right there. The organizer. Right there. What's her name? Casey. Casey, come here. How are you?
Here.
Hi.
Oh, so how do you feel about the what's going on today?
Gosh, I'm just proud of the people's courage today. I know for myself, I'm nervous. I'm lost for words, and it's raining right now, and people are still doing this. And when I set up the event, I didn't think I would get like maybe 10 people. You know?
Yeah, so good turnout.
Good turnout. It means that people are very, very, very passionate about just domestic violence and justice for Mica, and we want change.
Do you plan to do any future protests or this type of event?
I don't know. It depends on what God tells me what to do. This is all God, by the way. I'm just a person. I don't normally do this. I haven't done any of this. It's like a shocker for me. It's working. You know what I mean? But yeah, now I'm turned on. Who knows?
Do you have any Facebook page, groups, or anything centered around Mica?
The Just for Mica event today. That's all I have.
So if people want to help, contribute any way, how can they do that? Just go to the page itself, the event?
They go to the page, and they can private message me. Again, I will get them in touch with the family. I don't know Mica personally or her family, but I know the people to I'm the middleman. I could be the
So they
middleman.
are aware. The family is aware.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was told that too.
Yeah.
Like they know what's going on. And,
yeah, they didn't know if they were invited, and I was like, well, of course, you know, but.
Do you think authorities are really going to investigate Pastor John Paul Miller?
I believe the Robertson County Police Department in Lumberton, North Carolina, I have faith in them. There's a lot of crimes that happen in that county. And I do have faith in our police department. I've been in contact with them throughout this whole journey of creating this event. And they're definitely on Mica's side. Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
It's raining. I'm going under the
I'm
shade.
like, my eyes are
Yeah,
watering.
stay dry.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, so that's the organizer. Her name is Casey. I thought her name was Deborah. Her name is Casey. So let's go under here and kind of just seek shelter until this is a tree. But look at this, folks, out in the rain. So I plan to go to the park maybe later on today to show you guys exactly where she was found, and we can see if we see surveillance or we can talk to people there. I'm going to go to the park later on today. Oh yeah, this is a nice tree. It literally, folks, took me 10 hours to get up here. I traveled all through the night. Remember, we were talking about the case yesterday. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I might be here by tomorrow. And lo and behold, I am. Traveled in the middle of the night, very tired. But I think this is important. I think this is very important to get this message out and show what's going on and show how people feel and show that Mica was loved. She was loved. Thank you, J. Marie. Mica was loved. And some people here never even knew her, and just coming out, just showing support. Some people out here are victims themselves of domestic violence, and they're just using their voice, right? They're using their voice. They are in front of Solid Rock Church. This is the church. Mica was a member here, but then I'm told she left months ago. She left. I don't know exactly when she left, but she left. And, you know, she was going through a, bitter child support, divorce type process in the last, since October of last year. I saw somebody with a message here. Georgia Patriot Woman, thank you. I appreciate the support. Thank you. So after this, I'm going to be around here for at least the next day. There's a vigil scheduled for her tonight. I'll be going there, live streaming from there. I actually drove past the pastor's house. The pastor doesn't live far from here. The pastor, I believe, is home. The way the officer told me was, you're not going to get the guy here. The officer was like, basically, you're not going to see the guy you're looking for here today. Meaning there's someone else holding the congregation today. He's probably hunkered down at home. There's a lot of cloud of suspicion over this guy, just his behaviors. And people want to know, where was this guy last Saturday? I can tell you folks, going past this house, there is a straight security camera that's perked. He lives like a few houses down from a road, and it's like a development. It's only like really one way out of his neighborhood going to the main road. And there's a surveillance camera perched like right there on the road. So maybe authorities in North Carolina will, come down here and, with the authorities down here and cooperate and get that surveillance footage and see exactly where John Paul Miller was last Saturday or before. Where was his whereabouts? So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to know how this goes. I do believe they're investigating. Are they investigating the pastor? Well, I think they are. If they're investigating this case, you would think they would be investigating the pastor, considering there's lots of people here that are calling for an investigation. Remember, we've always said pressure breaks pipes. Pressure breaks pipes. And this is also unprecedented in a sense where these individuals are protesting in front of a church, man. It's in front of a church. So they're very passionate for Mica in front of the church where Pastor John Paul, he's the pastor here. This congregation, I think, is they had their website, and I was able to screenshot everything from the website, me and Magnolia, and I told Magnolia, screenshot everything because they're probably going to get rid of this webpage. So they're going to probably try to scrape everything off the internet. And lo and behold, this morning, their website is gone. It said it's suspended. I don't know if the server suspended them or they took it down, but their church webpage is gone. It's no longer in existence. Regina, thank you. Rain is about to go away. So Pastor John Paul did not have children with Mica. He has children himself. It's believed that he has 5 children himself, but they never had children together. That's what I'm told. And if I'm wrong, please correct me. We want to try to get the most accurate information. There's a lot of things circulating. This is also at the preliminary stages. But this is not going away, folks, anytime soon. Miss Kirby, nice to see you, Miss Kirby.
What do we want?
Your voice tired?
Yeah.
Did you know Mica personally?
I'm close with my brother Nate.
Okay.
And he kind of before we talked, and I've tried reaching out to him, but they need their space right now. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
It's times like this that they really need to have their strong relationship they already have in their faith, which is I know they already do, and I know Nate's grieving and he's grieving in his own way, and we're here for him. You know, we're here for the whole family, and we just want to make sure that the justice is served the way it should be.
What are you calling for? What would you like done?
Just for people to come out against domestic violence. Anybody, male, female, it doesn't matter. It happens to everybody every day. And this is just showing that people are here for you if you're in that situation. That's all it is.
Gotcha. What's your name?
Todd.
Todd, you're on JLR Investigates on YouTube. Check it out later.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. How old are you?
32.
32. I was going to say, you look like you're in your 20s.
I appreciate that.
Get some something cold to drink later on. Keep your voice. Thank you.
When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! Now! Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! Now! Justice for Mica! Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now!
Oh, the people are coming out of the church.
When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice for Mica! Now! 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 Justice for Mica! Now!
So some people in the congregation, they left. They're leaving.
Justice for Mica! Now! 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 Justice for Mica!
So I'm wondering, now that some of the people came out from the congregation, they see what's going on here. They see justice for Mica. And it looks like some of these people that are part of this congregation live in the neighborhood because they're walking down the street. I wonder what they're thinking right now. I wonder what some of the members are thinking. Will they leave the church, or will they support Pastor John Paul Miller? You know, some people say that this guy could be a cult leader. That's the word that I've been seeing in the Facebook groups. Like, he has a cult in there. And, you know, it will be interesting if he'll start losing members. Maybe he'll gain members. Or maybe he will shut down the church. Or maybe he will continue in defiance. Or, you know, feel like he's being persecuted, or he being the victim, and he continues to have the church. That remains to be seen. But, you know, they're coming out. They came out the front door, probably a good 15, 20 of them. I think there was more people out here than there was in there at the peak here. Half the crowd's probably gone because it's been raining, but the rain is clearing up.
Break the silence. 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 Break the silence.
Break the silence.
Break the silence. Break the silence.
So they're all coming down now to face the congregation that is now coming out. Church seems like it's over, and they're all going to the front. They're all going to the front entrance across the street where all the cars would leave.
Okay, they're leaving. Everybody ready?
Hey,
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
So these are the members of the congregation leaving.
Now. Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica.
I wonder what they're going through right now, what they're thinking, because this might be new to them, too, the congregation. I wonder what they're thinking as they're leaving church.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now. Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica. Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do you want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now. Justice for Mica. Justice for Mica. Now. Justice for Mica.
Everything's good.
Get your backstory?
Yeah.
Justice for Mica.
Now.
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we
Thank you,
want it?
Melissa.
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
What do we want?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice for Mica.
When do we want? What do we want?
Maybe the guys say, what do we want? Yeah. When do we want it, the guys say? When they say now. This way we saved a gentleman's voice.
It should be a different
Okay?
chant, though.
Huh?
You should change it up.
You can change it up too. Whatever. I was just thinking of someone.
So this is the church, folks, for people that are just jumping in. This is the Solid Rock at Market Common. This is on Howard Avenue. Howard Avenue. And they had a service today. Do not believe that Pastor John Paul Miller headed the sermon today. Someone replaced him, and this is the crowd outside the church. There was more people here earlier. It rained, kind of thinned out, but they're still out here. The church service is ending. Thank you. Oh, we just had somebody walk by and shook my hand and said they're a fan of my work. Sam. Man, I could tell you guys, for me, as you guys saw, you know, I kind of jumped in the chance too a little bit. That's showing my gonzo journalism because, you know, I think this whole case stinks, and I definitely feel like it should be looked at, and the family feels it should be looked at. So the family knows Mica the most, and this guy is embedded with controversy, not only with him, but his own father, who got federally charged with all types of labor. Apparently at his father's congregation, they were bringing in people from overseas, and he was forcing them into labor and things like that, like forced labor, unpaid wages and things like that. I do not know the outcome of the federal case. He might have got probation. He might have served some time in federal prison. But this pastor himself, he's been in trouble with the law himself. And I want to believe that something is going on here. So I want to believe that this is like, you know, there's some sort of involvement, and this wasn't just her taking her life. Some people here are just protesting to end domestic violence. There's different people up here with different objectives here. Some want an investigation, some just want an end of domestic violence, but the all common ground here is justice for Mica. They have all justice for Mica. A lot of them wearing shirts. I got my own shirt too. I will be wearing this shirt later. Bringing awareness of domestic violence. If you are in a relationship out there with domestic violence, get out of it, man. Get help. You can get help. You can get out of it. Break those chains. Get away before it's too late. And this can be male over female or female over male. It goes both ways, you know. And apparently, Mica was a very loved individual, a very godly individual, a very positive individual, someone that has lots of friends. And they're saying, no way. There's no way she could have took her own life. And just the way he announced it to his congregation is suspect in most people's minds. So we'll see what happens with this. We'll see if, you know, if they do some warrants here. Maybe they'll come here and do some warrants. Maybe they'll go to his house and do some warrants. Maybe they'll take him in for questioning. but the authorities are investigating the matter. That's a fact. The news has reported that. Robeson County, Robertson, North Carolina, right outside Lumberton. But I almost choked up a little bit at when they started really going those powerful chants. I choked up, man. I choked up, you know, and it was difficult. I already did a video at the pastor's house. I'll be posting that later on at JLR Investigate. I did a drive-by in his neighborhood. Like I said, the pastor has security cameras on the road immediately going out of his house. There's only, like, really only one way out of, you know, his little, like, it's like a loop. It's like a loop, and there's only like one way out. And the one way out at the end of the road is surveillance that clearly, the surveillance camera might even be able to see his house, because you know there's a few houses down from there. So I'll post that video later on. And I'm also going to go up to the park. And we'll just be out here a little bit more and monitor this. But the service is, it seems like the service is over. They got a police here at the church. Now, the police been nothing but nice. The officer, I don't know his name. I actually shook his hand before I did a live stream, came over and talked to me. He just said, First Amendment, everyone has a right to be out here, including the press. He said one thing: do not go onto their property. That's what they're asking for. So we was going and reminding everybody professionally, nicely, you know, saying, you know, I respect, you know, First Amendment. You guys are First Amendment all the way. Just don't go on the property and there'll be no problems. And there has been no problems, none. So the police were totally cool.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just leaving it there. It is much the same. Basically, people standing there and letting the world know in a safe way what they think has gone on. They want to show solidarity. There was a very large crowd there before it started raining. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me? Okay, okay. So yeah, there was well over 100 people out there earlier, and it started to rain. It chased a few of them away, but they definitely showed solidarity in their thinking. They don't think that she did this on her own, and everything that we've heard, read, is basically saying the same thing. She would not have taken this route. They're saying that she was happy-go-lucky type of person that had gone through some maybe not great DV instances. It's almost 3 there. Her family is doing a beachside memorial, aren't they? I am not sure where they are doing that memorial. Let me see. Is it? So there is a memorial starting at 3, so it should be right away here. Let me see if I can find something. I'm just going to see if I can find anything on that before we finish up. I am not seeing the exact location, you guys. The show of support for her today was unreal. I had tears, and chills when they were first. Let me see here if this is something. When they were first showing them with all of those people chanting, it was just the most amazing, amazing thing. Let me see here. Mm. I'm looking to see if I can find. They're wanting a login. Because they are doing something. You get live links once the registration is complete. I'm looking here, friends. Yeah, crap. Now, if I can find this in a bit, I'm going to have to look around a little bit and see if I can find. If I can find something I can get into and share it with you. Just absolutely amazing amount of support for her. Yeah. I think we're probably going to be leaving it there. So is J I don't know. I was looking and I don't see that JLR's there. Oh, and yes, he is. I found it, guys. Thank you so much.
And we'll just listen. So he's getting started shortly.
I'm going to show them.
People are asking about the pastor. They are having a supposed memorial for Mica there at the church, Solid Rock Church, the church that we were at earlier. This is totally separate. This is organized, I believe, by the family and friends of Mica. Totally separate. 30 minutes away to the north. This is an entire separate remembrance. So I will just say that after my live stream today over by the church, and it was a good turnout of people with hashtag Justice for Mica, I got to talk to personal friends of Mica and people that left that church, that got away from that church, left there, and got a lot of insight. And we'll share that later. But this particular segment is to cover the remembrance of Mica. And seems like she was well loved, for sure. North Neural Beach, so the 91st Street, right on the beach here. And I'll move the camera around a little bit. And in a few, I'll move the camera around and show you. It might be hard to hear from this location, but I think they have a microphone up there and an amplifier, so we should hear something. Myrtle Beach is beautiful, folks. It's beautiful. Actually, we'll go for a walk before this starts, just to kind of show you. And I'm gonna stay back in the cut. We'll just go around and just take a quick walk around. Just thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Keep watching because justice is coming.
Yes, indeed.
I got to talk to Mica's brother. Came over and talked to me briefly. Very nice guy. And they're heartbroken. They're heartbroken. So, see how many people here? There's hundreds here. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Hundreds are here.
Oh my word. Look at them all, you guys.
A lot of hugs, a lot of memories being shared. So we got this. Flyers are in loving memory of Mica, March 7th, 1994 through April 27th. A beach memorial, folks. Thank you. Thank you for the support. What's your name? Nice. Sad case.
Very much. I met the family earlier.
I did too. Very nice people. All right, folks, it's a very nice meeting you. And thank you for the support. So it might be a little hard to hear, folks, but we're going to just observe and
I have a kind of a soft voice anyway. Just to give you an idea of how the service is going to go. Still smelling good. Here's your wife. Oh. Wow.
I'm gonna try to get closer and so we can hear.
I can't hear her. It's pretty windy. So I wonder if her hubby showed up. I think you're right. Look at that crowd. How amazing. How amazing. I wonder if they can even hear her.
Very, very sad, folks.
I wish we could hear them. What a crowd. That's heartwarming to see.
Part of my family, part of Michael's family. That's how she was. Mica, as most people know, is one about doing good whenever and wherever possible. Her smile is genuine, her smile is and her laughter is contagious. While considering what to say today, I found myself struggling. young age, Mike understood the importance of pleasing God by living in a way that honored Him. I'll say anything. We were at a church one Sunday. Mike had a super cute outfit on. What I thought it was cute. It was amazing.
How amazing is that? Wow. Wow. No, I don't think he was expecting all of this.
Scenario. Remember her well. Remember her strong and mighty woman of God.
wish we could hear it.
My family and my family, thank you so much for coming and showing us support. My name is Destiny. I'm the oldest sister. As many of you know and have heard, Michael was and is an astonishing person. He lit up every room he walked into and went out of the way to make sure that everyone felt welcome. Wherever he was, even if it wasn't even for a full
I think this is one of the sisters.
She loved God with all of her heart. She was extremely passionate about life and people. She had a heart for movement and touched an organization to help children again spread the love of God. Micah was so full of energy. She didn't know how to feel. I know it's cool. She always had service. She was so funny, and some of you may not know, but she did some of the best military impressions. She believed in people and always saw the best in people. Micah was not a wife that many people could speak with.
Mica's brother, second in line. Those who are gathered here to celebrate someone who we all love and care for deeply, my little sister Mica. She was part of the passion like none other.
I think they said a brother of hers.
The family that loved her. Mica was the most genuine person in the world. She wore her real look on her face. She was expressive, intense, loving, and man that she loved people. Her number one passion in life that she got to experience
Me too, Dandy. Wow, so many people. Unreal.
All right, folks, what they're going to do is they're going to get flowers and they're going to throw them into the ocean. So I'm going to go down towards the ocean and watch this.
And there we go. I was muted again. Oh, lordy, lordy. Oh, yep, muted. Oh, so that was emotional, guys. That was emotional. I don't think Mr. John Paul seen this coming. So many friends and family, she told, they knew what a monster and evil was trying to get out of. She was trying to get out of. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. She passed away in North Carolina, and they're on the beach in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. North or south, I'm not sure. I am no longer muted. Thank you very much, Brat. So yeah, that was emotional. And I don't think it'll take too long, and the cops will have this one figured out. If he's guilty of doing something, and personally I think it's looking like he did, it won't be long and he will be locked up. So guys, with that said, that's been an emotional few hours. I appreciate you guys staying and hanging out with me. And thank you again to JLR for being out there so we could, participate in our way with, I guess, what would you say, her send off, Not very difficult to figure out that Heaven's Gates are definitely going to be open for her. The amount of people she touched. She was only 30 years old. And, oh, Lordy, what a shame. What a shame. So, you guys, I will be keeping my eyes peeled. If anything else happens tonight, I will be streaming it with you. If JLR heads down to that park, I will get that out to you as well. But I don't think he'd be doing it tonight. But with that said, hey, he's all over the place. So you never know. So yeah, check him out as well. And you guys, again, thank you for spending that time with me. I really do appreciate you. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Hit that bell because I do stream fairly randomly. Okay, guys, have a great evening and thank you. Much love.